Hi, Terry VanNoy. Welcome to Math Class with Terry V. Hope this video helps you out, and if you enjoy it, please share it, comment, or like it. And you can also go to my website, MathPowerLine.com. It's a math resource blog, lesson videos for students, and other resources for parents and teachers. Give me a call or go to my website or email. All right, let's go to today's lesson. This is all about the trig function and how it comes from the unit circle. Now, this is the last part of the video series, and I'm going to break this quiz up. This is a self-quiz here into two separate videos. Now, let me give you a little bit of caution here. If you are jumping right to this video, the self-quiz here, you might be stuck. You're going to probably have to go back and look for other videos in the same title of the series. And what I do is I call it how to use the unit circle. And then I have these kinds of lessons here. We talked about just the basics of what the unit circle is and how the angles that are created are either in radians or degrees and how to go back and forth and convert. What a coterminal angle is, other names for the same angle in a positive or a negative direction. How to find common trig values at certain angles around the unit circle, and then solving trig equations. Alright, so again, if I start to go a little too fast here for you and you don't have a clue on some of these problems, you're going to have to go back and watch those previous videos. Alright, now grab a piece of paper, and when you see some problems on the screen, go ahead and hit pause and give it a try, and then I'll go over each answer. Alright, just as a reminder, this is the unit circle. Okay, the radius of the circle is 1 unit, and that's why we call it that. As you go around on the points of the circle at different angles, you have all kinds of degree angles and their radian measure. Okay, based on 1 full unit pi, which is 180 degrees, and 2 pi, which is 1 complete spin around the circle. Now there's some values at these points here that are the sine and the cosine values. Okay, remember that when you go to certain angles, you have 30, 60, 90 triangles or 45, 45, 90 triangles, okay, based on where these dots are. And I had some reminders in a previous video about how in a 30, 60, 90 triangle, the legs are 1/2 and radical 3/2. In a 45, 45, 90 triangle, the legs are congruent and they're both radical 2/2. Okay, now let's go ahead and explore the self-quiz. Let's get started. Alright, these first 4 problems just identify the measure of each angle. Now let me give you a hint. If it's, and we're looking at the blue angle here, if you're going backwards here, which is clockwise, that's a negative angle. If you're going counterclockwise, that's a positive angle. Alright, looking at the clues, figure it out. Alright, number 1. The answer is negative 120 degrees. Now if you're going backwards here in a negative direction, if you go all the way up this way, of course, it's 180 and you're 60 degrees shy. So that's why it's negative 120. Here it's 115 because you are 65 degrees short of 180 going in a positive direction. 115. Number 3, now we're getting into radians. And notice how you're going completely flat in a negative direction, so that's going to be pi, and then you have this much left. So figuring out logically and noticing the denominator here, if it's 18/18 pi, that's a complete half turn. Okay, so each quarter turn is going to be negative 9/18, negative 8/18, negative 27/18, and negative 32/18 by the time we add that amount, and 32 pi over 18 is reduced to 16 pi over 9, negative. And finally, we have pi over 4, and we all have another pi over 4 because that's 1/2 of a pi going down to 90 degrees. Negative pi over 4. Okay, next we're going to convert each degree measure into radians, and here each radian measure into degrees. Remember that conversion angle. Go ahead, give it a try. All right, let's see how you did. In number 5, you take the degrees and you multiply it by the conversion ratio, which is 180 degrees in the denominator, right? Because the degrees have to cancel out. And what is the same as 180 degrees? Pi, 1 pi. Okay, so by the time we put that together and we simplify, it's going to be 17 pi over 18. Same thing here, 230, we're going to multiply that by pi over 180. And by the time we reduce, simplify, we are going to get 23 pi over 18. Okay, notice how we divide each number by 10. Here, we're going to convert radian to degrees. So what's the conversion ratio? Yes, you have to have pi in the denominator. So you're going to use that conversion ratio flipped over, 180 over pi. Okay, those pi's cancel out. You can do some simplifying there. 3 times 180 divided by 4, and that's going to be 135 degrees. Number 18, multiply by that conversion ratio, 180 over pi. Those pi units cancel out. You can divide each of these numbers here by 36, and you can get 85 degrees. All right, now find a positive and a negative coterminal angle for each given angle. And remember that means if it's a positive amount already, you want to either add a spin or subtract a complete spin around, and you want to give the negative version of it. And these are going to be in degrees. All right, number 9. Notice how 510 degrees is way more than one complete spin around. So let's go ahead and subtract a spin, which is 360 degrees, from that, and it will give us 150 left over. So that's where we get that coterminal angle. All right, now also, if you are going to be going around that far, you are going to have 210 degrees in a negative direction. So again, if this is your 150 degree angle, all you need to do is subtract what that is from 360, and that will give you the negative version. That's where we get negative 210. Notice how these two, the positive and the negative, add up to, if we ignore the negative sign, 360 degrees. All right, for 80, we can add 360 and add a one complete spin. And that's, of course, where we get our first answer, positive 440. Okay, and if we go ahead and take the positive angle, we subtract that from 360 and make it negative, because the negative version of the coterminal angle and the positive one add up to one complete spin. So that's where we get negative 280. Final 2 questions on this self-quiz. Same thing now. We're going to find a positive and a negative coterminal angle, and these are in radians. Click on pause and give it a try. All right, well, first of all, if this is my positive angle there, notice 25 pi over 36 is not quite flat to 180 degrees. Remember that a half a spin, in other words 180 degrees, is 36 pi over 36. Okay, it has to be the same as 1 pi. Now if we double that, that's the complete spin, 72 pi over 36. All right, so we take our 25 pi and we add 72 pi to it, because that's a complete spin, and there we go, 97 pi over 36. Now if we take our positive angle degrees there, or radians, and we subtract it from 72, that's going to give us our 47 pi, and that's over 36, that's negative. All right, so remember that the positive angle and the negative coterminal angle add up to 360, or in this case 72 pi over 36, a full spin. All right, 17 pi over 36, let's go ahead and add a full spin around. So 72 plus 17, 89 pi over 36. Okay, now of course we take that and we subtract it from 72 pi over 36. That will give us our negative version. There you go. All right, thanks for trying this self-quiz. In our next and final self-quiz of this video series, we're going to be looking at trig equations. Thanks for watching. All right, there you have it. I invite you to go to my website now, MathPowerLine.com, or email me or give me a call. The way I work best with students is live online in my classroom. So if I can help you in any way, answer some specific questions, the first lesson with me is free as I show you how everything works. All right, study hard,